Warrington. Okay, let's take a check on the way the two sides line up. The Wolves have got Brent Gross at full-back, Farfili, Gleeson, Coelove and Apo the three-quarters. Libreas captains the side alongside Nathan Wood. Up front it's Likevol, Gleeson, that's Mark Gleeson, the younger brother of Martin, and Hilton, Swan, Westwood and Clark. And a change on the bench, a late change too. Chris Bridge has been taken ill during the warm-up, we're told, so Steve Pickersgill comes into the side on the bench alongside Paul Noon, Paul Wood and Danny Lima. Coach is Paul Cullen. Now the Rhinos, the champions of the Super League, of course. Mathers at full-back, Calderwood, Walker, Senior the captain, By, Maguire and Burrow. Forwards, McDermott, Diskin and Ward, Lauatiti, McKenna and Ellis. Jamie Jones Buchanan named in the starting lineup. He is a late withdrawal, so that leaves Francis Cummins on the bench alongside Duneman, Poaching and Scruton for coach Tony Smith. So last-minute changes to their replacements for both sides. Paul Cullen knows that they are aiming to consolidate third spot. Hull are at Widnes on Sunday afternoon. 9 wins from 10 on this ground for Warrington this year. Only St Helens have beaten them. Leeds need at least a point to regain top spot following that win for Saints at Salford on Friday night. And they enter the arena here knowing their last away game against London in the south of France ended in defeat. They led 24-8 at one stage, only to lose 32-24. They've never lost consecutive away games under Tony Smith. This trip threatens that record like never before. Warm, humid, perfect pitch, great night for fast, attractive, open rugby league. And Steve-O, I think we're going to get it.
Well, both sides have got plenty of talent. That, when you see the lineup that you just read out there, and this is the man that I'm sure that Leeds coach Tony Smith will be looking towards, the pairing of Danny Maguire and Rob Barrow. It is interesting to note that the Leeds forward lineup, Barry McDermott, Ali Lauatiti, they're not used to starting the game. Normally they're being utilised as a substitute. And one wonders how this very warm, muggy day will affect the players.
Well, it certainly hasn't affected the voice of the supporters. They're in great form for this. It's been an eagerly anticipated clash in Warrington for some time. And the man in the middle is Steve Ganson. He's the referee. So we're just about ready. The pitch has certainly come on here at Warrington in recent weeks. It was a little threadbare early in the season, but it's perfect for Warrington against Leeds here tonight. And a really big test of the Warrington top three potential. The Wolves against the Rhinos then, just about ready to get going. Richard Mathers, the Leeds full-back, will get us going with the kick. Off we go. And Libreas with first touch of the ball, and here comes Chris Likevol for Warrington.
Going to be a big clash against the forwards there. You've just seen Likevol take his heavy weight right into the Leeds defence. Eddie spoke about the fact that the quality on both sides, especially in the three quarters. Plenty of pace, plenty of skills, but it's got to be down to the forwards to set that platform.
That's Mark Gleeson. This now is John Clark. Clark operating at loose forward tonight. He has played there a few times this year. In fact, this is his 9th appearance, blocking the scrum. That's a good kick. It turns Mathers around. He's right on his own line. Breer's leading the chase. And Breer's getting to the Leeds full-back and grounding him 10 metres from the line. Well, disruption to Warrington immediately prior to the kick-off. Chris Bridge taken ill, we understand. And I understand that Bill has got news on him.
And it was literally a few minutes before they came out to take the field, the Warrington Wolves, and a little bit of concern in the backroom staff and in the medical department over the fitness of Chris Bridge, who's been struggling with gastroenteritis, I'm told. They tried to get him right, and it looked as though he was going to be able to play, but then when he went out to take part in the warm-up, the effects of the illness really caught up with him. He came back in early, was taken straight to the doctor's room, and the decision was made that Chris Bridge was in no state to play tonight. So late call, very late call for Steve Pickersgill.
And I know that Chris Bridge was absolutely champing at the bit to get out against the Leeds Rhinos. As it is, Leeds have got the first penalty here. Ben Westwood interfering at the play the ball.
Well, he's such a good strike player, isn't he, Chris Bridge? And I'm sure Paul Cullen will be very disappointed. No doubt that Steve Pickersgill will give his all. They need to. They really have to show their quality, Warrington, today.
This is Danny Maguire now. And Briers and Martin Gleeson there to bring him down. Lauatiti is the dummy half. Big Barry McDermott drives the ball to the 10-metre line. Diskin waits at dummy half. It's good from Leeds and Great Britain point of view to see him back in the side. This is Lauatiti. And Lauatiti trying to stretch over the line. They're so close to the Warrington line here. Okay. Great opportunity for Leeds. They're in possession with Burrow. And Burrow is gobbled up by Toa Koila.
He'd been disappointed, a little half-back there. He was looking for someone to come on the second phase. They were all standing square.
Great ball, and Walker will score.
Well, that looked dodgy. The Warrington fans don't like it. The Leeds fans do at that end. But that looked extremely forward. Take nothing away from the finish from the big centre, Chev Walker.
That's his 70th try for Leeds, and it gives the Rhinos an early advantage here.
Well, surely that was forward. The offload. Perhaps not seed on this one. Ellis gets it through. Oh, that's forward. They have made one big boo-boo. Jansen was going towards the in-goal area well before that pass. So he wasn't in a good position. Either way, it's 4 points on the scoreboard, and it's the start that the Rhinos needed.
Just the start they wanted, and when you call forward or not forward pass, Phil, it's all about the angle you're watching the match.
I think the big decision really was the penalty that Leeds were awarded on the 5th tackle there. That was probably more controversial than the angle of the pass. The other thing that struck me there in the first 2 minutes, just the width with which Leeds played this game, testing Warrington both on the left-hand side and the speed and accuracy with which they can shift the ball across the field. That's going to put a big pressure on Warrington's defence.
Great kick from little Rob Burrow, and the Leeds Rhinos have the lead here. It's 6 points to 0.
Well, this is a penalty that all came about, and I'm with Phil Clark. The only reason that I feel that the Merry whistleblower is given the penalty against Ben Westwood is the fact that he didn't roll away. But it's going to take a lot of convincing for myself and all the Warrington fans that that was not a forward pass from Ellis. Either way, Walker and Leeds are quite happy to take the 6.
Great start for the Leeds Rhinos, and Ian Millwood is watching here, of course. And well, that's just the start that Tony Smith would have wanted, Ian.
It was a fantastic start, especially when you get possession early. I think you're all talking about the forward pass, but let's credit Leeds. The players got into space, and there was opportunities for defenders to nullify that threat, and they weren't good enough. They didn't anticipate, and their recognition of the threat wasn't good enough. So, round 1 to Leeds.
Round 1 to Leeds, and of course Ian Millwood knows what he's talking about. He's the only coach from a visiting team to win on this ground so far this year. Gareth Ellis has lost the ball. Warrington have it back in the shape of Nathan Wood. That's Briers, that's Logan Swan, this is Martin Gleeson. Oh, Henry Farfeli's dropped the ball, and so has Marcus Pye.
Good job that Marcus Pye couldn't grab it in, otherwise it would have been the second try for Leeds. But great work there, good offload by the Warrington Wolves side. Farfeli, it was a good pass. Gleeson did everything right, but it was good work from Marcus Pye as well. He kept right in front of the winger Farfeli. Maybe just took his action off it, had a little bit of a glance at the last moment.
Gareth Ellis from the base of the scrum finds Keith Senior. Rob Burrow at the dummy half position. That's Maguire. That drifted a little forward as well. This is Walker, great strength. Danny Ward. Ward offloads. Diskin picks it up. And the ball is all over the place. It is play on. Warrington in possession, and they will be relieved as a result of that. Let's go down to the sideline. Dave Hatfield's on the press benches as always. Plenty of candidates tonight, Dave, for man of the match.
It's going to be a fascinating contrast of styles between the two best British centres in the game, Keith Seaton and Martin Gleeson, in direct opposition to each other. Mark Hiltner, one of the very best games of his long Warrington career last week. He's up against another veteran, one for whom time started to run out, Barry McDermott. He gets the start that he relishes in the absence of Ryan Bailey. He's one of no less than 6 of these Leeds players who we know aren't going to be here next season. We'll see what impact that might have on the rest of the campaign.
This is Chris Likevall, yes, the class of 2004, beginning to break up already at Leeds. This is Lee Breers, though, stabs the kick in. It wasn't the best, and it's picked up easily by Ali Lauatiti.
Put under a lot of pressure there by Danny Ward. Plenty of nerves out there.
Good hit on Gareth Ellis. Maguire and Danny Ward. Great screamer forward. And the thing is, Leeds are playing very, very flat attack, don't they?
Eddie, yeah, Leeds make more metres in a game than any other team in Super League. One of that reasons is because they hit the ball and the advantage line, and they're very quickly over it. Admittedly, if you're in a way for a player supporting the other side, you might think it's a forward pass, but they keep it going, and they're prepared to offload a lot here tonight.
Back to 0 in the tackle count for the Rhinos. There was certainly a foot from Warrington trying to get to that ball. Here is Danny Ward.
First. Well, it was the right mix-up. He got away with it.
McDermott drives it forward again. He'll retire at the end of the season. It's his testimonial year. Tony Smith knows that. And McDermott tells me he's holding the latest event in his year next Sunday after the Challenge Cup semi-final. It's a French party night at Headingley. And the Rhinos players and Toulouse players will be there for that. 6 o'clock they start.
Plenty of ooh-la-la there, that's for sure.
Indeed so. Wonder if there'll be ooh-la-la for Leeds here tonight as Ellis finds McKenna.
Interesting to see how Tony Smith, the Leeds coach, is using the loose forward Gareth Ellis out wide on that right-hand side as a centre.
Danny Ward, back it goes to Burrow.
That's got to be a penalty.
The referee...
What? Surely he's blown it. He went to blow straight away. He was looking for advantage.
Well, the referee... I don't know what here's McDermott.
Well, he was just about to blow. Obviously, he was going to blow for Warrington being offside.
This is Danny Ward. But the thing is, what happened in the original offence?
Burrow already passed the ball
off the ground. Yeah, but was the ball carrying arm? Did it hit the deck? If it hasn't, it's play on. Oh, that's another forward.
He's got that one.
Well, an ironic cheer from the huge Warrington crowd here, and rightly so. There again we see Ellis, and that was definitely forward.
And Steve, even though it went forward, the skill there and the tackle to just get the ball out of the way is the decision. Tackle completed there.
Well, the ball carrying arm didn't hit the deck.
That's right. The referee's got it spot on, and he's also got it spot on. Ooh, not much in it.
Good play from Burrow, though. Quick thinking from him, and the referee spot on. Crowded on his back, though, because of 1 or 2 early decisions that have gone against Warrington, but he seems to have got them right.
I think they're just a little bit upset, Eddie, with the fact that there's so many forward passes. You're always going to get it with that very flat attack. Both sides do it. It's not just Leeds that'll do it today.
Likevall will drag it forward for Warrington. It's a great atmosphere here tonight. This is Mark Gleeson. He finds Nathan Wood, and Nathan Wood trying to get through. He gets Warrington to halfway. Mark Gleeson again, looping past to Breers, shaped a kick, charge down. That's going to be, I was going to say, got to be play on. It's play on now because Leeds are back in possession, and here goes Danny Maguire. That was a charge down by Leeds, and Brent Gross taking it cleanly. Warrington would have had 6 to go. And all the tackling that Warrington have had to do so far. And Toa Koilova's scooped it up. A very important tackle on him by Gareth Ellis.
That's got to be back to 6. Ellis went for that football and got the overlap.
This is Nathan Wood. Nathan Wood battling his way through, but Chev Walker's there to bring him down. Gleeson waits. Here is Likevall. Oh, he hanged on to it somehow. And they're offside. Leeds offside in front of their own post.
Eddie, you know, with only having Andrew Juneman and Francis Cummins on the bench, I know they've got Scruton and Poaching as well, but I think it puts pressure on Barry McDermott and Ali Lauatiti today typically they rotate around the side a bit quicker, but with only having those two forwards, I think it may mean that they have to play for longer than usual. Hence the reason perhaps why Barry McDermott caught offside there.
Well, Mr. Ganson's in the thick of it, isn't he, the referee tonight?
Yes, Bob.
It's a Warrington penalty, bang in front of the sticks. And I think the captain, Lee Breers, has signalled that he's going to take the kick at goal. But it's Graham Appo who is going to take the shot. That's interesting.
Well, I think they obviously realise they don't want to put any more pressure on the injury to Lee Breers. They want to utilise him. Know he's important. First receiver, get things going. But that's the first real attempt that the Wolves have had to apply the pressure to Leeds. Leeds scrambled back well, but it was interesting to see the two halfbacks, Nathan Wood, Lee Breers, they're combining extremely well so far.
Well, this penalty is 10 metres out from the line. It's bang in front, and Graham Appo has already been successful with 6 kicks this year. He was in the 2003 Dream Team, this fellow, at standoff, remember. Operating on the wing tonight, kicking the goal, and Warrington are on the board. Leeds to the head, though, 6 points to 2.
Eddie, I know Phil Clark's just mentioned about the wear and tear on these front rowers and 2 backs on the bench for Leeds, but isn't that being contradictive of going for the 2 points? Wouldn't you be better off keep working away in this heat? You're down there on the line, don't take the 2, put McDermott and their forwards under pressure, because you know they're going to have to play long minutes.
We just saw, though, the graphic saying Warrington have made so many tackles in the opening 10 minutes. Maybe they want the breather.
I'm sure that's the reason why, because they've only been in the attacking position on 2 occasions, and I think they want to get a bit of breath back.
This is Mark Hilton now for Warrington. Good tackling, though, by Leeds. Diskin and McKenna, Mark Gleeson and John Clark.
I was impressed with the way that the Rhinos did the other defensive qualities. One will go low and someone will come off the top, make sure he can't offload.
Gleeson again. Bounces off one challenge. Plays the ball on the last. It's the last tackle here, and Breers goes for a crossfield kick. That's a good kick too, but it means that it stands up for Calderwood. Bounces perfectly for him. It went in between Mathers and Calderwood.
What experience though from Lee Breers there. Realised he was on the right-hand side. They'd gone back, the wingers had dropped back, and it was just sensational, that cross kick in to open space.
It just stopped dead in its tracks, though, didn't it? Bounced up perfectly for Mark Calderwood.
It can go anywhere, can a rugby league ball, don't worry about that.
Calderwood, of course, on his way to Wigan to work with Ian Millwood and company next year. As I say, this class of 2004 at Leeds is starting to dismantle. This is Willie Poaching.
Great half break, and Poaching will be a little bit concerned that there was nobody there.
Well, that ball hit the referee. Play on, he says. Shouldn't that be scrum down, head and feed Leeds?
Well, it normally is.
Well, Ben Westwood takes the tackle of Maguire and Mathers. We had one of those last week, remember, on boots and all. Carl Kirkpatrick was hit.
Well, it was a try to Salford again involving the Leeds side. Went against them. The ball's come out the back there. What will the referee give here?
He give the first knock on, the head and feet to the Rhinos.
1-on-1 steal, knocked on by Leeds, Warrington head and feet.
Warrington get the head and feed.
1-on-1 steal, knocked on.
I don't know how they got that.
He said it was a one-on-one steal, and
Yeah.
he's taking the ball out. It was a Leeds knock on.
Lautiti certainly got a fingertip to it. Marcus Spy rolls him away, and the big fella Lautiti got a fingertip to it.
This is Nathan Wood for Warrington. Well, it's all action, isn't it? Mark Gleeson.
And it's fast as well, fast and furious. It'll take its toll. It is very humid out there.
Here's Danny Lima.
Ooh, McKenna went high, gave him a facial.
John Clark. Wide it goes to Mark Hilton. Through the gap goes Brent Gross. And Brent Gross scores for Warrington. He's having a magnificent season, the Warrington fullback. 41 tries now. This is his 81st appearance, and Brent Gross makes it try number 9 of Super League 10.
Well, no disrespect to the big prop forward, but he is not noted for offloading. Mark Hilton is a workhorse. He'll run through a brick wall, but on this occasion, what great foresight and what a wonderful offload. The fullback, Brent Gross, as Eddie has already mentioned, is in superb form this year, but that was quality. It was only a short pass, but Mark Hilton, he will be glowing inside.
Well, we've got an invitation to the playoffs, Steve-O, from the Warrington Wolves supporters. I think they think they're going to be involved again this year.
Well, if they play like that, yes.
I wonder if they'll go all the way.
Well, I think that's a great testament to the improvement that the Warrington side are making under Paul Cullen. All coaches now want their front row forwards to, in the right part of the field, pass just before the defensive line. The size and presence of a front row usually attracts 2 or 3 defenders towards him, creates a space for a supporting player, and that was perfectly executed, and I suppose credit to the work that Mark Hilton's been doing on the training field.
Well, Mark Hilton's only missed a couple of matches this year. When you think of the problems he's had during the course of his career, it's a fantastic testament to him. Now then, Graham Appo, this is a test of his kicking ability. The crowd will tell you, and the flags will confirm. Appo gives Warrington the lead, 8-6.
What a mighty kick, and what a mighty pass from it. You can see there, Ellis and Poaching are brought through. Look at the huge opening. Perfect timing.
Brent Gross, 25 years of age, ever present at fullback this year, but knows his way to the try line. Now then, Mark Gleeson tips it inside to Danny Lima. Went straight towards McKenna, but Diskin got to him as well. Matt Diskin, our guest on Boots and All on Wednesday. Oh, Hilton has come up with a blunder. Poaching will score for Leeds.
Well, he'll go to the screen because he was unsighted, but I think it will be given.
First one's Warrington. Let's have a look for a double one.
Wants to see if there was a knock-on by the Leeds Rhinos as well as Mark Hilton.
Well, he took his eyes off the football. The man.
Oh, he did. Poaching has touched it.
It'll be still head and feet to Leeds.
Yes, it will, but it'll be no try.
See how he just lifts the head. He's looking at the oncoming traffic. From hero to villain in seconds. The creator has made a real boo-boo. That's the knock-on. But it will be head and feet for the Rhinos. And the Wolves under even more pressure. Good call as well by the referee, Steve Ganson. A lot of referees perhaps would have seen it, gone straight in and awarded the try, but this is N-O-T-R-Y.
But the scrum feed to the Leeds Rhinos, just a little fingertip from Willie Poaching. There's still enormous pressure coming in though on that Warrington line. This is Gareth Ellis from the base of the scrum. Westwood doing well low down. Mark Hilton also. He'll be hoping against hope they don't get over for the try. Diskin halted by Lima and Logan Swan. Danny Ward is there. It'll come back to Rob Burrow. They're lined up down the left-hand side. Maguire back on the inside though to Mathers. They lost their way for a moment then. Burrow, quick play the ball. Shows it to Ward. Scampering run across the face. Still going. Rob Burrow, collared though by Coelho. 4 tackles gone. Can Warrington hang on? McKenna to Poaching. Great tackling. Great tackle, Martin Gleeson. This is the last. Maguire. Oh, by. Still by. It's back to 0.
It was definitely touched.
6 to go. Mark Calderwood will hang on to it. Fires the pass to Ellis. And Ellis will stand. Eventually goes to ground.
0.
Here goes Walker again. Chev Walker, great strength.
Superb footwork as well from the big centre. They've got them stretched. Surely they'll go out wide. Diskin's going.
And Diskin gets it down. Diskin gets the try for Leeds. All that pressure and they had to score. Matt Diskin on his comeback, only his second start of the year, out for 8 months with a knee reconstruction, and Matt Diskin gets his first try of the year.
Well, he tested the arm. Maguire put the big one right out onto the left-hand side. It was touched by a Warrington player deliberately. The ball didn't play the man. It was the other way around. Marcus Bai kept his calm. He looked at the referee. Steve Ganson was waving the arm, and Diskin, what a comeback for this fella. Out for so long at the start of this season. He has poached one. That is sheer upper body strength. That is wonderful play.
Matt Diskin's last try was in the grand final itself. Last year against the Bradford Bulls. Burrow. Second conversion of the night is successful. Leeds have the advantage back. It's 12-8.
Well, he poaches from time to time, this fella, and he's slowly but surely getting back to the position. Remember last year, Phil Clark, this guy had a wonderful season, sadly injured whilst playing in his debut for Great Britain, but he's on his way back there, isn't he?
Just look at the leg drive, the number of times his feet touch the ground. He's pushing and working with those. He takes 5 small steps to get over the line. He knows that if he presses through the line, eventually get the ball there. Very strong player.
Interestingly enough, Mark Hilton has been withdrawn by Paul Cullen.
Well, it was a very bad error, I'm afraid, in, 12 metres out. You can't afford to give Leeds the space and, of course, the opportunity.
Poaching will play the ball to Diskin. He'll give
You
it wide
notice
to
the width
Ward.
then that Diskin threw the ball to Ward. It makes the Warrington defenders move around. They use a lot of width from the dummy half.
And little Rob Burrow's gone for a 40-20, but just didn't quite get the angle right. So Brent Gross can run the ball back now. Only as far as Lauatiti, though, and Marcus Bai. Logan Swan, Henry Farfili, the New Zealand international, with 18 tries to his credit this year.
So muggy out there, Eddie. It is going to be down to which side shares the workload. If anybody's just going to have a little bit of a rest out there, it will tell late in the game.
Here's Martin Gleeson. He gets the ball away. And this is Paul Wood. And Wood, a good run, halted though by Ali Lauatiti. John Clark waiting. Clark to Lima. And Lima, oh, he thought about the offload for a moment.
Then again, that short pass looked slightly forward.
Bringers will hoist the kick. It's a good kick too. Farfili's after this. Farfili claims it.
Can't get it out, though. Oh, yes, he can.
Brilliantly done, and they spin it wide. Mark Gleeson, Nathan Wood. Wide it goes. Oh, post knocked on.
Well, Ben Westwood, the big second row, was screaming for it. Great take by Farfili, but it was his opposite winger that came up with the error. And Westwood was absolutely furious he didn't get the ball the first time.
Super League on show tonight. Ian Millwood at his best. It's a cracker.
Yeah, it is, and everyone's trying to play their strengths. You know, Warrington are trying to get to Gleeson. It's unusual that they start with 2 hookers. He's got the forward pass here ready, and I think the crowd tipped him before he even found that one.
Yes, the crowd got them. It was forward, but the crowd got it them.
It was forward, but I'm just going back there. Is Clark is it playing today and Gleeson? They're 2 hookers. They normally bring them off the bench. They've both started today. They give them a little bit more speed around the rucks. They're trying for Farfili with their kicks and Gleeson. And same with Leeds. I go back to what Steve-O said there before. I don't think it's sharing the workload. What it'll come down to, who can get repeat sets and who can come up with less errors.
Oh, big push at the scrum from Leeds.
Like this, Eddie, like this.
They got the ball. And it's now a penalty. Martin Gleeson trying to slow him down.
Well, I can't believe that Warrington have just allowed the Leeds pack to control and push them out, and there was no one at home.
Leeds on the charge here with Danny Ward again. Logan Swan with the tackle. Diskin, infield it goes to Willie Poaching. This now is Rob Burrow. Room for Leeds to work in. McKenna bounces off one. This is Chev Walker. Walker.
Having a big game, this fella. Causing all sorts of problems out there. Toa Koilov finding it difficult to tackle him.
Here's Poaching again. Paul Wood got to him first, and with help from Lima, he stopped. Tackle number 3. There's Diskin. Back it comes to Burrow. Now it's with Maguire. Maguire showed it to Lauatiti.
This is a big ask of the Warrington attitude here. They're going to have to dig deep. They'll keep swinging it around Leeds.
Here they come again with Ellis. And over the top it goes to Calderwood. And wide to Walker. And Walker gets try number 2. One side of the field to the other for Leeds. And they're trying to run Warrington off their feet.
It was always going to be that way. And again, Paul Cullen, the Warrington coach, will be absolutely furious. They have allowed Leeds to get possession from an error, and on both occasions they paid the price. Great work. See the winger and the centre combine, but it all went back to the poach from Danny Maguire from the base of the scrum. McKenna did well. Calderwood said, we've switched. That is a great try. Didn't have much to do at the end. He's having a big match.
Well, 71 tries now for Chev Walker, averaging 1 every other game. But, you know, before today, he hadn't scored in 3. 22 years of age, England and Great Britain international, and Paul Cullen. He knows his team at the moment are conspiring to their own downfall. Big push at the scrum. Don't often see that these days.
It wasn't just that, I think it was the speed with which Danny Maguire reacted, and Lee Brea stood still at the scrum waiting for the referee maybe to put the scrum down again. The speed of thought, really, I think, for Leeds has been the difference between the two sides, and Warrington, well, they don't deserve to win the game the way they're playing.
And Rob Burrow has added the conversion from the far side. Leeds have a 10-point lead.
We're talking about scrummaging. It's gone out of the game, Steve-O, since you played, but they did some work with the England Rugby Union team. Did they learn that, and have they put into practice?
Well, I think most sides sort of just accept it, that, oh, well, the ball's going to get through there. But Phil Clark was mentioning the fact that Breers was a little bit slow, but he'd gone the wrong side of the scrum.
Well, I think our cameraman immediately behind the post for the conversion is all right, despite the fact that it went straight into his lens. That's a good push from Danny Lima and Paul Wood.
They've got to strike back at the Wolves very, very quickly. They're a little bit nervous, has been caught on the hop, but the last 2 tries come from 2 major errors from the Warrington side.
That's Nick Scruton on for the Leeds Rhinos. Big things predicted for him. Here's McKenna. Good defence from Warrington. Now then, they've got to keep Leeds penned back there and not come up with a penalty. Poaching, another screen from the side of forward. Mind you, they do that at Headingley. The South Standers are never short of a voice.
They do it every ground, Eddie. They're not on their own, don't worry.
Danny Maguire's kick downfield is straight into the arms of Brent Gross. And Gross is met by Maguire.
Pretty solid tackle as well by the standoff.
Farfili. Lauatiti and Senior after him and get him down. Mark Gleeson. Logan Swan for Warrington.
Swinging out from Keith Senior then. Crowd didn't like it.
Danny Lima turning, looking to offload. Can't get it away.
This is the point where Lee Breers, Nathan Wood, either of the halfbacks, they've got to ask the question.
Mark Gleeson. The tackle by Scruton. John Clark. Lee Breers now attacking the line, dabbing the kick through, but it's picked up well by Scruton.
There haven't been enough dangerous kicks, have they? On too many occasions, they've not completed a set. And then that's 2 or 3 occasions when Lee Breers, who on his day can be the best kicker of the ball in the game of rugby league, really hasn't put Leeds under any pressure. We talked about it before the game. You've got to put your opponents outside of the comfort zone, and Warrington aren't able to do that at present.
McKenna takes that latest tackle. Tackle number 3, this set of 6. Burrow to Calderwood. He finds Mathers.
The ability for the Rhinos to keep it alive has been outstanding, especially in the last 10 minutes or so.
Scruton takes the last tackle here. Diskin waits. Dummy half. It's with Maguire. Now Lauatiti. Lauatiti stabs the kick through, looking for Keith Senior. Well claimed by Henry Farfili.
Did well to say in there. Just lifted the arm at the very last moment.
Logan Swan.
Oh, that could have been a flop there by Diskin. Went down late, lifted the arm just in time.
So the crowd is well and truly on Mr. Ganson's back.
Oh, getting a little bit nasty out there. Mr. Barrow, beat, was after something. Well, this game's had everything. It's frantic.
You go there. Hey, are we going to carry on or let me speak? Now listen.
Well, Clark need him.
About 5 minutes ago, you ran right in the back of him and bounded him over. No, hang on. And that was let go. OK, and I'll talk to you about it. Now, calm down. Got the penalty. Rob, get on with it again. That's superior.
Well, to be fair, Burrow was very high into the face of John Clark.
Well, the referee is taking control of that situation. Logan Swan. I don't think Leeds want to get involved in any niggle. Gleeson, Mark Gleeson to Wood.
Well, again, they allow the first runner to run through and they pick someone up coming late, but this Leeds defence, they're not being sucked in, they're hanging back.
John Clark, good ball to Martin Gleeson. He's away from Lauatiti, not from Senior. John Clark again, and John Clark fires the pass to young Mark Gleeson. Leeds muscle up in defence for tackle number 4.
Great tackle by Chris McKenna, it had to be as well.
Here's Lee Breers, wide it goes to Ben Westwood. Good tackle by Rob Burrow. That's the last, this set of 6. Coe Love. Nathan Wood slices the kick. Back it comes eventually to Logan Swan, and quick hands from Gleeson to Farfili, and back to Nathan Wood again. And Wood with a kick, turns Calderwood around, Apo's after it, Calderwood gets it.
Just shows you the ability and positioning there from Calderwood, but no, on top of that, the speed, as soon as he got that ball, he was away.
Burrow's having a great season, he finds Lauatiti, here is Keith Senior, cuts in field, halted by Breers, thought about the offload to Maguire, thought better of it. Maguire then at dummy half. This is Marcus Pye. Great offload to Richard Mathers. Here's Willie poaching. Off it goes to Gareth Ellis. Great play from Ellis. Gets the ball away to Calderwood. But Nathan Wood hunting. The speed of passing from Leeds is mesmeric. Here they go again. Diskin through 1, through 2. Good job that Wood got back for a second effort.
Again, a beautiful offload by the second row, Chris McKenna. He's turning in the tackle.
That's the last one. Good tackle by Nathan Wood on Gareth Ellis. He's hurt his Ellis. Now it's with Danny Maguire. Kick out wide. Looking for Senior and By. Claimed.
Knock on.
But a knock on by Breers.
No doubt about it. A lot of pressure. Senior was going for the football. If you're going to go for it, you've got to shout and make sure it sticks. And he went far too early, did Breers.
Well, he had to go for that because Senior was in had he missed it.
Yeah, but he went too early. You've got to time it. By the time the ball was coming, he was going back down onto the field of play. Problems there for the halfback, Nathan Wood.
OK, Lee.
Penalty at the scrum.
I think they'll tap this.
Well, the referee will bring him back. Now they can take the tap. Here comes Nick Scruton. And Leeds looking to wrap this first half up and maybe with it the match.
Well, they've got it under control. They know that that's the reason why they went for the tap instead of a simple two-pointer.
Burrow, Rob Burrow, he's so elusive when he ducks under the challenges. Diskin fires the pass wide. Duneman's on.
Brent!
It'll be a link here again.
Here's Willie poaching now. Back it comes to Danny Maguire. Oh, he went the wrong way, Maguire, and everyone overran him. Calderwood went ahead of him. Chev Walker it was, rather. Here is Diskin. Oh, that was nearly an interception by Coe Love. I think the Leeds man's lost it.
He has lost it.
Westwood has it for... Oh, and he's lost it.
No, first knock on.
First knock on, the referee will give.
He give the ball up. No advantage to Warrington. He just give the ball up in the tackle. It's Warrington head and feet.
Well, I don't know about the hamburger and tea sales that they normally sell here, but no one's leaving them seats. This is enthralling.
Didn't Warrington get over the advantage line here?
Not really.
No, the referee didn't see it that way, and that's why they have got the head and feet. And this time the scrum sticks for Warrington. Gleeson.
Full credit to the Wolves, they had to dig deep there. There's the error count.
Logan Swan.
Leeds have made those errors, Eddie, closer to the Warrington line, and Warrington at times. A penalty here now, knee in the neck.
Yes, Senior was caught by the referee.
Where those errors have made, Eddie, have been the difference between the half. I mean, Leeds have been able to apply so much pressure. You'd have to imagine that the petrol tank from Warrington has got far less energy in it than that of Leeds at present.
It's certainly going to be difficult for them, Phil. They've got through that. A lot of work in the defensive department, but I'm just a little bit well, confused as the way that Warrington have not really had the combination of Briers and Wood working together. We've already seen it from the Leeds side. Maguire and Burrow are causing all sorts of problems.
This is Chris Lightfall. And Nathan Wood finds Lee Briers. And Briers cuts inside. What an important tackle by Nick Scruton. John Clark, Martin Gleeson. Gleeson finds the big man Lightfall. Good defence from Poaching and McKenna. Mark Gleeson, Nathan Wood. Oh, and the ball, it's a penalty to Warrington. Ball came loose, and Duneman was judged to be offside.
Well, I don't think they'll rush this, Warrington. They'll try to sort themselves out with a set pattern.
Mark Hilton.
And it looks like they may go the switch to the blind. Wood's there.
This is Mark Gleeson. Here is John Clark. Now it's with Martin Gleeson. He lost his footing. Scruton completed the tackle. Tony Smith's on his way down for half-time. Mark Gleeson. Well, that's high. Second quick penalty for Warrington. Here they come again with Briers. That is Logan Swan, who scored! All the pressure told in the end, and Logan Swan gets his 6th try of the season for Warrington. At just the right time for the Warrington Wolves, just before the half-time siren.
First time they've had a set of 6 in succession. Then they got the penalty. Scruton far too high. And it was a quick tap. Good shout on that right-hand side. Briers missed the man out. Logan Swan reached away. Nothing that Sini could do about that. Boy, that is a big relief. Super pass, wasn't it? From Lee Briers. Misses the man out. Senior just hesitated, and it was sufficient for this man to reach over for the 4. Game on yet again. Yep. TRY.
For the New Zealand international Logan Swan, 29-year-old and 29 caps for his country. 5 tries in the 7-match winning sequence that ended at Wigan a couple of weeks ago for Logan Swan. Back on the score sheet tonight, courtesy of a bullet pass from Lee Briers. Briers, though, still not taking the kicks. It's Graham Appo, who has been successful with 2 so far tonight. And this is his most difficult. 18-12 to Leeds at the moment. This for a 4-point ball game at half-time. But can Appo slide this kick over?
It's an important 2-pointer, this.
Warrington are itching for a first league win in 10 league and cup meetings with the Rhinos. And they're first on home soil since a victory at Wilderspool in 2001 against the champions.
I think the Warrington fans are unhappy that some of the Leeds players have just encroached into the field. Technically, they're supposed to be behind the try line. They're not too happy with that at the moment, Eddie.
Just in the eye line, maybe, of Graham Appo, trying to put him off. They should be behind that line. Appo, it's a great kick, this. He's just missed it, though. It was on all the way and just faded at the last minute. 18-12 Leeds.
Super play. You can see Senior just looking at Gleeson, expecting him. It was sufficient. Just beat him to it. It's all a matter of seconds.
Okay, mate.
18-12 as we approach half-time to the champions from Headingley. Mather's kick bounces high and Breers underneath it. Lightfall. That's the half-time siren. Compelling first half. Some quality on show from both sides, most notably from Leeds. 3 great tries. Walker, Diskin and Walker again. 2 tries for Warrington, courtesy of Gross and Logan Swan right on the stroke of half-time. In terms of watching this as a neutral, exactly what the match wanted, really. That Logan Swan try on the bell. Leeds giving the ball plenty of air and trying to run Warrington off their feet, and they lead 18-12 at half-time. Glorious evening here in Warrington, and it's 18-12 to the champions, the Leeds Rhinos. About to start the second half. Paul Cullen knows his men have lost their last 8 against Leeds and their last 4 on home soil. He'll want to put that record to rights in the next 40 minutes. Their home form in 2005 has been their best in 10 seasons of Super League football. That really is the difference between them finishing 8th last year and currently standing 3rd so far this. Warrington will attack the Leeds supporters' end in this second half, and here is Poaching driving the ball forward for the first tackle, met by John Clark and Chris Lightfall. Plays it to Matt Diskin. Oh, it was a dipping pass, and Nick Scruton did well to hang on to that.
That was one of the features of the first half, though, the ability for Matt Diskin to get it away from the congested area at dummy half.
Good ball to Chris McKenna. McKenna, one of several players leaving at the end of this year. Calderwood by McDermott and Duneman. And Duneman there underneath that body of Chris Lightfall. Good hands from Leeds again, and Burrow. He's a real will-o'-the-wisp character. That's the last tackle, though. Diskin back to Mathers. Mathers will hoist the kick high. And they're all after this. Oh, they're going to let it bounce. Warrington. Could have been a real mistake. And is a real mistake because they're caught and trapped in goal. Well, you never let the ball bounce.
That was a disaster. Plenty of height from Richard Mathers, but a lack of concentration. But what about the chase? Scruton and Danny Maguire, and Farfili looks at his own players and said, why on earth did you not take it on the full, and then you offloaded it to me?
Here comes Alilawa Titi for the Leeds Rhinos. Attracts 3 to him.
Well, that sort of thing just lifts the opposition. When you allow a ball to bounce like that, they say, we've got them. They are not concentrating. Oh,
great
what an offload.
What an offload from Poaching to Diskin. He finds Burrow, who in turn finds Maguire, and here comes Chris McKenna, and he spins out of one tackle and gets the ball going to Maguire again. Here is Burrow. Leeds looking very dangerous here with Burrow.
Second!
Needed an important tackle from Clark, and he provided it. Diskin, Duneman. Duneman fires the pass to Richard Mathers, and Mathers trying to stand an offload in the tackle. Hilton there, and Toa Love got to him. Diskin slides the kick in, and Lightfall drops on it gratefully.
Not the best kick from the hooker. We'll be disappointed with that. Could have been penalised as well. Tackle had been completed, and Diskin then tries to push him back over the line.
But again, they're mistakes that Leeds are making, or, you know, not the best plays, taking place close to the Warrington line, and Warrington, they're coming up with their errors deep inside their own area. It just puts you under more pressure, and it's harder to play the game near your own line. It's probably twice as hard physically to carry the ball out of that area than it is further upfield. And it's, I don't know why, whether it's just the sniff of that end zone. Defensively, you move up so much quicker, Eddie.
Kick downfield from Breers. It will find its way to Mark Calderwood. Phil was talking during half-time how important Gareth Ellis is to this Leeds side.
Oh, he's going for obstruction.
Well, Calderwood thought he was away.
No, you went straight across him and escorted
Mr.
him out the
Ganson
way.
blew the whistle, and Calderwood looks absolutely bemused.
Well, it's a great relief for Warrington, I can assure you of that.
But he
Well,
got involved.
I think he's got it wrong. It was Senior that pushed out of the way.
Yes, Senior just nudged him out of the
Logan
way.
Swan, was it? I think it was.
Steve, the question is, where does Senior go there? He doesn't know if Mark Calderwood's going to go left or right, so he just goes a direct line. You know, that's just getting away from Enterprise Rugby League we want to see.
You're spot on there.
Well, we'll just see how this Warrington attack develops before we hear from Bill about Gareth Ellis, who is still off the field. And we'll be with him shortly as Gleeson drives the ball in. He finds Lee Breers. Wide pass to Martin Gleeson. Great tackle from Senior. Think at the moment Senior is winning the battle between those two centres on points. Mark Gleeson to Nathan Wood, and Nathan Wood to Brent Gross to Cohen Love. Great ball, Appo. Oh, wonderful tackle.
He's got it back. No, a knock on. Well, he's claiming. Give him 10 for effort.
That's control.
What a great tackle by Burrow. Absolutely superb. Copybook. Right round the ankles. Now, this is the incident with Senior.
All right.
And I honestly feel that it was Logan Swan that actually moved and pushed Senior out of the way. He's got it wrong as the official.
Let's go down to Bill. That news of Gareth Ellis. He's been very patient, Bill.
It's not bad news of Gareth Ellis. He did take a hefty bang in the first half and was a little bit shaken up as a result of that, but he was due to be replaced anyway. But he's just had an extra 10 minutes or so on the bench, and Leeds are confident that he's going to be able to come back on. Just a word from the Warrington camp. They know that they're still in the hunt here, very much still in the hunt here, but they need to withstand this early Leeds onslaught in the second half. And the big concern for coach Paul Cullen has been the kicking game, which was pretty woeful in the first 40 minutes, and that is what they've got to get right to try and turn around Leeds.
Look out, here's Marcus Bye. And where's that ball gone? It's gone over the whitewash far side.
It'll be a knock on from Keith Senior.
No, it's heading feet to Leeds.
Interesting. Yep, spot on. No doubt about it. I think he got to it first and couldn't keep hold of it.
And then
keep the foot down, straight in and out.
it found its way over the whitewash.
It's a knock on anyway.
Leeds head and feed, and that's why Maguire has the ball, and Nathan Wood drills Danny Maguire to the deck.
This is where Leeds so often just pile the pressure on. They take the gamble, they're spinning the tackle, they know there's going to be somebody there.
Diskin, here's poaching. Saw a gap, just stumbled at the last minute. Westwood managed to get the tackle in. Diskin, Duneman. Been so important for Leeds this year, filling in for Matt Diskin while he's been out injured for 8 months. There is Diskin to Maguire, to Burrow, to Lauatiti. And another collision between Lauatiti and Senior. Here is Burrow meanwhile. Burrow so quick! Wonderful try from little Rob Burrow. He's been threatening to do that all night. And that, for Rob Burrow, is the 21st try of this season. He got 22 points last week against Salford, and he has been threatening to take Warrington to the cleaners throughout the course of this match, and he's over under the sticks.
So low to the ground, it all came about by Five Feely. Knocking on, then going into touch, and from the resulting scrum, so many errors from Warrington, allowing Leeds all the time in the world, but the ability for Leeds to turn in that tackle, offload, and look at this, beep beep, no one anywhere near. What an individual try from the little scrum half. Lauatiti keeps it alive. Anybody going to fill in? No. Yes, determination. He's had a top game.
Rob Burrow with the try. He's dubbed as Beep Beep by Steve-O, but I don't think anyone else in the game calls him that. But that you can call him that if you wish.
Well, is that fast? Has anyone caught the Roadrunner? Beep, beep, simple as that.
We'll call him the Roadrunner then.
It's not as nice as beep, beep.
Well, there is Burrow about to try and improve his own 4 to 6, which he does easily from there. It's 24 points to 12. Ian Milburn.
I think the most common word we all of us used at half-time was the word don't give Leeds repeat sets and stop their offloads, and we've just seen it in this opening minutes of the game. They've got repeat sets and they've got offloads and they've burnt them very early. Unless that stops, and with the bench they've got at the moment, Leeds, I think we might see some points.
Rob Burrows just gone joint top of the try-scoring chart with Mark Calderwood.
And you know, a lot of players, they get to a stage early in their career, and that's basically what type of player they become. But I think Rob Burrows has developed, and you know, not every player improves year on year, but it's been a significant improvement for him this season.
Look at this fella, Lautiti. Well, that looked a little forward to Calderwood. Westwood gets to him.
They're falling off the tackles, Warrington. They're well and truly on the rack, and it's quick play the ball by Leeds. They know they've got them. They're building in confidence. Not that they need any more this season. They've been in outstanding form. Okay, they've had their blips, but their ability to keep this ball alive is just crucifying Warrington.
Diskin to Burrow. And Burrow to Lautiti. Lautiti with the offload to Burrow. Good job that Farfili was there. Diskin. They'll come back this way now with Duneman. He looked for the runners. They've arrived with Maguire. Here is Poaching. And Poaching looking to get it away, and does to Maguire, who gets away first time from Westwood, but not the second time.
Will it be a short grubber or up in the air?
Mathers dabs the kick through, and that will be too deep. Oh, but Brent Gross! I think he was in two minds then, and Leeds get another repeat set.
Well, the ball was rolling end to end. He thought it was definitely going over the whitewash, and then it just stopped, just popped up. Good work from Mathers. He thought, well, this will go, and look at it, just stopped. Better take safety first.
I thought from up here it looked like Gross had actually stopped it.
I think this 60 seconds now for Warrington is potentially the game for them. If they can't prevent Leeds from scoring here, it's all over.
Mathers to Lautiti, who has figured prominently in the last few minutes. His runs have been devastating.
This is where they're catching him, Eddie, from the play-the-ball area. Very
Ward
slow.
Offloads to Burrow. And Burrow again tries to go under Clark. Diskin. Maguire. And he comes back the other way. Mark Leeson gets to him. Westwood and Lightfall.
They're out on the feet, Warrington.
Diskin again, attacking that line. Diskin! Still Diskin!
He's dropped it.
Ball is dropped. The referee will let the video referee have a look at this.
A couple of men in the tackle there. I just waited to air to see if the ball was stolen, and if it wasn't, just double check. Leeds never got grounding. Okay, all right.
Was the ball stolen? That's what Mr. Ganson wants to check on here.
Pretty difficult. The post is in the way here, and then he reaches down, I think. No, he loses it. There was an attempt to drag it away, but you can see that the hooker Diskin pulls the ball finally away to try to plant it over the in-goal area, and that's where he loses it. I don't think this will be a penalty. I think it'll be a restart. I just can't see that they're trying.
Well, Mark Gleeson's job, Steve, though, is to lock up the ball, isn't it, and hold it to his body.
And I think the mere fact that Diskin is trying to pull the right arm away to retrieve it, it's a responsibility of the ball carrier to look after the possession.
Well, I'm going to throw my 2 bombs worth in. I reckon it'll be scrum feed Leeds.
No try, a 20-metre restart.
There you go.
Your 2 bomb just went out the window.
That's why I said 2 bombs, see, mate. That's why I said 2 bombs.
Typical Australian.
It's 10 pence these days, gentlemen. Lightfall for Warrington.
You can be a narc at times.
Just in the 21st century, Steve-O. Mark Leeson, Ben Westwood. Well, Warrington survive a crisis. Nathan Wood and Danny Lima. He's just come on for Mark Hilton, as you see. Nathan Wood again. Lee Breers, a high kick from Breers, but Mathers is underneath this. No problem for the Leeds fullback, and they know all about Richard Mathers here. He was on loan at Warrington 3 years ago, 7 appearances. Here's Marcus Bai, Papua New Guinea international.
Well, could that just change the game? Because it would have been curtains if Diskin's try would have been allowed.
Danny Ward. Danny Ward, who there's a nice little line about Danny Ward. Let me find it for you. It's his 120th appearance for Leeds here. His dad, David, made 482, so he's got a little bit of a while to go before he gets into the record books ahead of his father. Now then, it's Burrow and poaching. Leeds' ability to offload in the tackle must be alarming, Paul Cullen. Here is Mathers, it's on the last. There's the kick. And Brent Gross is looking for this. Brent Gross gets it. Gets away from Calderwood. Gets away from Big Barry.
Plenty of height, caused a lot of problems there for Brent Gross, but he handled it well.
Lima. Great tackle.
Trouble now with Warrington, they've got to get good field position.
The thing about Warrington this year is they've scrambled victories, haven't they, when they've looked like going away from them.
And the thing I think about Leeds we don't give enough credit to, we talk about their play when they're in attack because it's far more noticeable, but I think they work harder than many sides when it actually comes to defending. They're restricting Warrington to a much shorter gain in the 5 tackles. Bria's kicking from just inside the 40, but it won't be a 40-20.
Oh, it was just a couple of metres the wrong side of the whitewash on the 20-metre line. So it's Leeds head and feed.
And another problem, of course, is that man we've just seen in the picture, and the coach Paul Cullen probably agrees with me. Tony Smith certainly won't want Briers to explode. We haven't seen many runs from him. I often wonder, you know, whether he's penalised him for talking to the official, and he looks at it and says, well, hang on, I'm the captain. He said something untoward.
I'm not going to take that, mate. You're not asking, I'm taking the mate. Joe Cocker to me, it descends.
I'm just going to make that point. You know, sometimes when you give the captaincy to someone, it erodes their skill factor. Happens quite a lot.
Well, what was he asking,
He
Mr.
made a
Gans?
sarcastic remark, I believe, to the referee, or that's how the referee interpreted it.
Yeah. And you can't do that these days. You can't smile, you can't laugh, can't giggle.
Second and again.
You can't appeal for penalties for holding down at the play of the ball either.
Yep.
This is Walker. Oh, to Roughhouse as he's pushed to the ground. His
Oh,
feet
that was
were
a lash
flying.
out there from Walker. Well, the touch judge is right there. One of the Warrington players got a mouthful of stub. Watch this. I think it's Westwood. Westwood said, hang on.
5!
Last tackle here for Leeds.
Back it up, Benny.
They'll go high again.
Well, they should with Maguire. There it is. Oh, it's up in the air, and Farfi doesn't look too convincing. He's anything but convincing. Good job for him that Brent Gross was there. Well, Henry Farfi, they used to say about Mark Calderwood he was dodgy under the high ball. Not anymore, but Farfi's taken over from him. Westwood.
It's a good ploy by Leeds. They know that they're in all sorts of disarray, and so they're giving him plenty of height. They're not just chipping it over the top, it's going well higher than the stands.
I think if you're looking here at the point now, for as a Warrington supporter, you're looking a bit of doom and gloom, but the positive is 15 minutes, and here we go with a break here now.
With Nathan Wood.
15 minutes they've had to defend in their half and only conceded 1 try. If they can continue with this, they will get field position. So there's plenty of positives here for Warrington, even though they've only conceded 1 and no field position.
But there is a bit of a problem there for Nathan Wood. He's down, and that charge down gets it to Rob Burrow, only on the halfway line, and there's another gap. Well, Logan Swan could have been penalised for that. This is Senior.
What's a quick hands now?
They know that Nathan Wood's got a problem down this left-hand channel for Warrington.
Seems to have shaken it off, Eddie.
Such a whiplash, I think. Big Barry McDermott.
Well, he'll suck them in. It's a good move by Tony Smith.
Oh, great ball! Oh, forward pass.
Wow, that was a late call as well.
And Danny Maguire says never.
Who called that, Buck? Who called that? Because the referee was back 15 yards. Was it the linesman or was it the man in the stand? Which one called that? Phil?
I think it was a Trustage on the far side of the field. The referee, as you say, was back 15-20 metres. He was in a position. That's a real shame, because that's great skill from Barry McDermott. That's his greatest strength and asset.
Yeah, it is forward.
In the tackle.
Yeah, it was just in front.
Well, remember the pass that McDermott got away to Maguire in the World Club Challenge against the Bulldogs. That was similar to that, and that was allowed to go. This one wasn't.
Well, I can't remember the last time that Warrington were anywhere near the Leeds line. That shows you the quality of their defence.
Yes, it is. It's scrambling defence.
They've swarmed all over them.
Oh, not the best pass either. Losing a bit of momentum because of the bounce. And this here is Paul Noon.
Well, we're closely approaching the final quarter, and this is where Warrington have got to test their arm now. They've got to just put a little bit of doubt in the minds of these Leeds players.
And Breers will do that with a little chip over the top. Couldn't get to it though. Marcus Bai does for Leeds instead.
Well, that's the first time that he's asked the question, Lee Breers, and he knew it was time. It was hard luck there. Dunham put him off in the end. He had half of the ball.
Back it up, Warrington.
With 22 minutes to go though, Steve-O, and the fact that you've not had a chance to attack Leeds' line, was that a good play, or is that like putting all your chips on the zero wheel on the roulette table? You've got to go for maybe red or black, haven't you? 50-50.
Well, I disagree with Phil. I've got to make sure that they've got to test their arm. They've got to do something, because they've shown nothing. They've only made 3 clean breaks.
Do you not need some
Leeds.
patience in the game to develop some pressure on their line to get up that end of the field? They've been all in their own half for the first 20 minutes of the second half. It was too high a risk play, that chip over. It hardly ever comes off.
Oh, what a pass that was from Ellis to Maguire.
He's bombed it.
No, he hasn't, because they've got men wide, and this is McKenna, and Senior will score for Leeds.
I thought he bombed it there. Maguire went for glory, took the step.
They had so many players flooding down the left side, and Keith Senior, the 350th start of his long career, and a great try from Leeds.
2-on-1, superb offload from Ellis. Took the wrong option really, but the support was superb, wasn't it? Been so impressed with Chris McKenna today, but the defence is hanging back. Ellis, who had a magnificent first 20 minutes in that first half, and the support, they just keep flooding through, don't they? And they're rubbing the salt well and truly into the wound now. Give them space, they'll make you suffer, and this man certainly has done that.
Gleeson against Senior was one of the big matchups tonight. Senior's winning it, hands down. Burrow then, 4 out of 4 with the boot tonight. 28-12, this for 30-12. Well, he's not missing one, is he? 5 from 5 for Burrow, 30 points to 12 Leeds.
If you talk about that matchup between Senior and Gleeson, to win a matchup, you need the ball and you need energy. And that's why Senior's way in front of Gleeson tonight, because Gleeson hasn't got the ball. If you look at the stats, it had 66% of the ball here in the second half, Leeds. And that's why they're going to dominate field position. And that's why Senior is going to look full of a running. What's the word I'm looking for, Steve-O?
Well, it doesn't matter. The words are all there, I'm sure. But Danny Maguire, Rob Burrow, they have combined together. They've got the link working. Every time they get the football, they're creating havoc in this Warrington defence. And Leeds' ability, and we keep saying it time after time, is that when they attract the would-be defenders, they twist, and there's always someone there in support.
This is Marcus Bai. In the last couple of matches against London, particularly in Salford last weekend, Leeds just maybe fell off the pace a bit in the second half, but they certainly haven't fallen off any pace here tonight so far.
Well, we made that point, didn't we, that, you know, Lartiti, Barry McDermott don't normally start a game. They were going to be struggling, we thought, in the interchange. It hasn't worked out that way.
This is Danny Ward, and here's Gareth Ellis, and they're finding alarming holes. This is Ward again.
They're doing what they want out there. They know that the sting in the defence has gone from Warrington.
Maguire.
They're looking down a big score here.
Mathers, and Mathers trying to get the ball away. Trapped in possession, no. That's the turnover now. 25 metres away from their own line.
Well, Mothers didn't realise it was the last, and even though you got a scoreline at 30 points to 12, Tony Smith perhaps may not be happy with that. That man Ellis there again, done everything right tonight.
Lima gets the ball away, Nathan Wood. Clawed to the ground by Burrow.
That was an elbow right in the face, not seen by the officials.
Might have been accidental. Oh, Warrington put the ball down, and that's a knock on.
It was never on, but how on earth did the touch judge not see that? Nathan Wood lashes out with the elbow. It's a great tackle from Burrow.
Come here, lads. I know
They'll probably say he's just trying to clear it, but to me that looks intentional.
Okay.
It's Toakoe Love and Richard Mathers that the referee has had a chat with.
Nathan Wood.
He's just had a little word on the run now, or a little word at the scrum with Nathan Wood about the elbow. Here's Gareth Ellis.
Well, he wouldn't have seen it, so therefore he's been told by the touch judge. So why didn't you run? That was a mouthful.
It was. Leeds looked bemused, but it was. We're bang in line with that.
You take your chances when you're doing that way, and I'm sure that Tony Smith, Paul Cullen, he uses the same sort of tactic, not to the same effect tonight.
Eddie, we've just seen the stats scroll across the top of the screen, showing how many offloads Leeds have made tonight. Typically in rugby league you get 6 tackles, but with the amount of offloads they make, it's almost as if they get 10 runs every time they get the ball. It makes them almost impossible to play against. Probably the reason, one of the reasons I should say, why they're top of the league.
Coe Love was almost through, but Gareth Ellis got to him. This is Brent Gross. Now it's Logan Swan and Martin Gleeson. Well, if anyone can turn a match, it's Gleeson. Pass off the deck from Gleeson. Lima, Westwood.
Great work from Chev Walker. Knew that Westwood was going to receive that.
Here's Nathan Wood. Now then, ball again is dropped. Picked up by Calderwood,
Sheer
by
panic.
Walker.
Sheer panic, and Paul Cullen knows it.
Here goes poaching from dummy half.
He'll know how to settle things down.
Back here, lads.
Rob Burrow, he has been a real nuisance to this Warrington side. Bit of a problem for poaching, back problem.
Marcus Bye.
Good to see the wingers coming in to take responsibility off the forwards.
Duneman, Maguire. Flicks the pass, McKenna.
Clear, Logan! Off at the front! Logan, quick, man!
Duneman to the line, finds Ward.
That shows you how confident this Leeds side are. You're finding a prop forward, fitting in, and there's a second receiver.
Burrow, Walker, Calderwood. Missed tackle by Nathan Wood. Missed tackle by John Clark, not by Logan Swan.
This will be another high one, I'm sure.
It's with Maguire.
Oh.
And that, will it skip away this time? Just.
Well, that surprised me.
No club has ever won back-to-back Super League titles. Leeds have never won consecutive titles in their history. They're off the top of the table now for the first time in 2 seasons. Is this the year for history for the Rhinos?
If it is, Eddie, one of the reasons is because the strength and depth they have as a squad. They've just brought on the experienced Francis Cummins to play in the right centre position and shifted Chev Walker into the back row. They've got great versatility and great strength and depth. They've built a very, very intelligent squad system.
They have, but 5 of them are on their way.
I think the most important thing about this Leeds outfit, I think they know, and the coach Tony Smith is aware, that they don't want to be called a one-off merchant. You know, they don't want to just win it once. They want to make sure that they're up there all the time.
Here's Nathan Wood. Nathan Wood on the bounce. It goes to Ben Westwood. And Westwood went backwards, and it's 0, says the referee. He's wiped the tackle count down. Breers, there's a chance for Warrington. Breers to Farfili. Warrington over the line at last.
For the very first time.
The first threat on that Leeds line almost.
Well, not only that, the ability to keep the ball alive. They took a leaf out of the book of this Leeds Rhino outfit today. and they have something to cheer about. Farfili came up with a couple of errors after the restart, but he's paid his coach back, Paul Cullen, very well. They have to test their arm. Back on the inside, and they did that. Okay, Nathan Wood looks as though he's going to be chopped down, pushed it back. Westwood did well. Then there was a deliberate pull away from Calderwood. That's when it went back to 6. And the defence this time is hanging back. What a beautiful dummy and what a beautiful inside pass. That is sheer quality. Hold started, kept alive by Coelub. Then Nathan Wood, but their ability, they know they have to chance it. They have to push it away. There, the back to 6 from Calderwood. Beautiful play from Breers. Sadly, we haven't seen too much of that, but that was real quality.
Well, Graham Appo here with this conversion attempt. It's an important kick, this, for Warrington. But he's missed it. So it's 16 points to 30 in Leeds' favour. Just a point about that stat I just gave you about no clubs ever won back-to-back Super League titles. No clubs ever gone top of the table 2 years in a row. St Helens, before Ian Millwood jumps on my back and all the St Helens supporters jump on my back, they did win back-to-back Super League titles, 99 and 2000, but they didn't finish top of the pile on each year. Statistics, statistics and damned lies, eh?
Yep. And they'll be happy to keep that silverware, politely known as the hubcap, but it's important finishing on the top for Leeds.
That's the league leaders' title. And Francis Cummins, a bit high on Nathan Wood.
Well, he's a bit rusty, isn't he, Francis?
And to give that its correct title, it's the league leaders' shield, I think, the hubcap. Is that right?
Yes. I never said any different.
You call it a hubcap. This is Nathan Wood. And here now comes Paul Noon, and Warrington are mounting one of their late rallies that has been a feature of their season all year. And here's Brent Gross.
Great vision there. Dooneman knew that the inside pass was coming.
Westwood.
Well, he's come alive, the second row of Westwood. He's looking for work.
10 minutes to go. John Clark. Good ball to Lima. And Lima stretching every sinew.
That's commitment in offence from Leeds.
Clark. On the bounce, it finds its way to Logan Swan. A chip over the top. Well, that was poor. And it's given Marcus Pye the chance.
See you later.
Marcus Pye is away.
Put the glasses down.
Marcus Pye.
Oh, he's there, don't worry.
100 metres and the try. Logan Swan with the kick to the corner. It was suicide. And Paul Cullen must realise that, I'm sure, better than most.
The idea was there. The execution was extremely poor. And you could feel and see that the heads dropped, that they couldn't get anything out of this. And they just said, oh, well. And they didn't try. They didn't close in.
It was a shocking kick.
Yeah, not the best.
But it's a great finish from Bye.
Oh, he just took his time. Come and get me. I'm there. He knows how to finish, this guy. They'll miss him.
Well, to go back to that point we said earlier, their transition from defence to attack, no team in the league has scored more tries on the zero or first tackle than the Leeds Rhinos. As soon as they get possession, Eddie, they look to score if there's a chance, because the opposition outsetters the defence, and Marcus Pye knows that only too well.
As Eddie said, it wasn't the best from Logan Swan.
Well, he's 33 in October, this fellow.
He read it well, though.
He's announced as Marcus Pye that he will be leaving Headingley at the end of this season.
That's a point I made. They will miss him.
There'll be one or two looking round, and he's just proved he can go the length of the field. That, by the way, was his 40th try for Leeds. And that is Rob Burrows' 6th successful kick, I think. Yes, it is. 6 kicks successfully for Burrow, and Marcus Pye, wonder where he'll be next year. Will he be home? Will he be still in the Super League?
Well, Ian Millwood's very close to the action amongst the coaches. Where do you think he'll go, Ian?
Well, I don't think he'll go to Wigan, because we've got two fantastic wingers next year in Dallas and Calderwood, and we've got his partner in crime on the other side. So I'm not sure, but I'm sure he'll stay in Super League, and I'm sure he'll be a welcome addition to any club. I've got a sneaky feeling it might be over Yorkshire way.
Well, I will say Bradford. Silence.
You do it all the time, Eddie. You often say something before it like, well, the rumours are, but this time you've started the rumour.
It's a punt. McDermott. And this fellow is on the coaching staff at Leeds next year. He's going nowhere.
He's lost it. Oh, he's given it, stealing the ball. Certainly lost possession. Barry said, that'll do me. And they'll just punt it into the corner. Or was it 1-on-1, or was it just a lazy arm?
No, they were all in there.
Yeah.
It's Breers who got the hand to it.
Pile on the pressure.
More trouble for Warrington. Ward.
Well, they want to pile the points on Leeds, just in case.
Well,
just in case that St Helens get on level points at the end of the season.
Well, their points difference is such now that they can relax. Calderwood in. Calderwood in for the latest Leeds try. 100% he says he'll give between now and the end of the season, when he then will move to Wigan. And 22 tries for the campaign for Mark Calderwood.
Well, it certainly put a big smile on Ian Millwood, our guest today. What a top game, though, McKenna's had. Provided the final pass yet again. Calderwood stayed calm, kept out wide. Oh, beautiful play. Makes it a little bit easier for the goal kicker. Wolfie shakes his head in disbelief, and I don't think he's on his own.
No, there will be a lot of very disappointed Warrington supporters around this ground. Yet again, they have come up short against one of the bigger names. They don't look too happy, do they?
Well, we mentioned before the kick-off, Eddie, how important it was for Warrington to show their skill, and I'm afraid it hasn't been on show.
Burrow has kicked another. 42 points to 16. Leeds back on top of the Engage Super League, and one of them, I think, going home with the Tissot watch, Dave Hatfield.
Yes, that's right. There's been a couple of moments of great vision from Lee Breers for Warrington, but just not enough. Some mentions for Leeds for Gareth Ellis, also for Chev Walker, but the winner by quite a margin in the end. Someone who scored a wonderful try, defended well, but a thorough nuisance. Little bonus, he doesn't ever seem to miss his kicks at goal. Man of the match today, Rob Burrow.
Well, I don't think there'll be many complaints about that. I think Mr. Hatfield and the rest of the media guys have got it absolutely spot on. He's had a superb game, and he's not on his own as well in the Leeds colours.
Injury news from Bill.
Might just take the shine off this Leeds victory, because Chev Walker is on the sidelines. He's come off. He's got a hand injury. It looks like the left hand, heavily iced up and examined by the doctor, and if that's another hand injury that Leeds have picked up, well, they'll be very disappointed, because Kevin Sinfield is out of action at the moment with just that sort of problem. So Chev Walker on the sidelines. Willie Poaching as well, I think, has picked up a knock. So they haven't come out of this completely unscathed.
Clearance!
Senior will play the ball on tackle number 4. And here is Burrow, the man of the match. It's been a will-o'-the-wisp performance from the little fellow.
He's gone searching for the ball all evening.
And Duneman with a kick through, and well picked up by Brent Gross. And Brent Gross gets the ball away to Danny Lima, who just bundles one out of the way. Francis Cummins, and Calderwood with a good tackle. Nathan Wood, here's Pickersgill. Another loose pass. Westwood gets to it eventually. They haven't got the gas, Warrington. They really have not got the fuel left.
Well, it took it out of him with all that defensive work in the first half. An amazing stat, Eddie. Leeds, 27 offloads. That is incredible.
Been fantastic. Here's Gleeson again. Now it's John Clark. and Nathan Wood. They'll try down the left-hand side now with Coelho. Back to Nathan Wood. Back to Nathan Wood. Graham Appo. Good defence again from Leeds, though. Calderwood. Coelho. Nathan Wood. Looping pass. John Clark. On it goes to Breers. From left to right, and Gleeson. Farfili is in for Warrington. Second try of the night from Henry Farfili. And there's a real ding-dong battle going on at the top of the Super League top try scorers chart. At the moment, Farfili's not far away from it. And his 2 tonight will help him in that way, but Warrington have not got the time left to come back into the match.
You're right there, Eddie. And for the second occasion, they've kept the ball alive, they've tested their arm, and beautiful pass from Gleeson. That was superb. Sucked in Marcus by Farfili's second try, and a lot of the Warrington fans will be wondering, where on earth was this skill factor in this second half? On 2 occasions, it's been superb, but far too many errors has allowed Leeds to control this game. It is mere consolation. It shows that they can score tries. They are capable of doing exactly what Leeds has done superbly today, and that's keep the ball alive.
Well, Lee Breers has just popped over a conversion from out on the far touchline. I know he's got the right thigh heavily strapped, but I have to ask the question, why has he not been kicking all night? And I'm sure the Warrington fans will be asking exactly the same.
Well, because the coach has said, I don't want to risk you. Maybe the captain, Lee Breers, just said, well, I'm going to take it anyway.
22 points to 42. Leeds have won the match, there is no doubt about that. And, well, St Helens will be second at the end of the weekend, as they started. So Mathers now to restart. Deep kick-off it is.
I'd like to pose a question to our guest Ian Millwood in regards to Tony Smith. Obviously he'll be happy with the way that the attack has gone, but will he be of concern that Farfili went in for 2 tries out wide?
Well, probably what he'd be concerned with, they've all happened on an edge. They've been down their last 3 defenders. That's probably something he looked. They got isolated one-on-one, and maybe the one-on-one tackle wasn't effective enough. And why wasn't it effective, or why did they get space there? But I think he would be very, very happy. This has been a very quick game, played in hot conditions, and they've had a lot of ball here late, Warrington, and they've tried to offload the ball because they're desperate to get across the line. I think overall he'd be very, very pleased.
Leeds Rhinos have the best attack in the Super League. They also have the best defence. They might have time to score another try because the referee has stopped the clock. There are 3 seconds remaining. Here we go. And it's Schooneman. No, it's Mathers. There's the kick. Looking over on the far side. He scored, I think, Marcus Bai.
He certainly has. He'll give this.
Marcus Bai has scored his second try. He has.
He's given it.
The try is given. Marcus Bai gets his second of the night. Leeds go to 46 points. And it has been quite easy in the end for the champions here.
Well, it looked as though the fullback Richard Mathers had made a right meal of it. This is the error. Nothing he can do with that.
The ball.
Took his eyes off the football. They tried to slow it down as much. The referee stopped it 3 seconds to go. Inside pass when you thought there was going to be a kick. Didn't go to the screen to see if he was offside.
Well,
Didn't have to.
Doesn't have to in the context of the match, does he?
Beautiful inside pass from Duneman.
Well, impressive is the word that comes to mind immediately.
Yeah.
And Warrington, disappointing. Their fans are exiting stage left very quickly. Leeds fans are just about staying to a man to salute what has been an all-round, near-perfect performance. Wonderful offloading, wonderful defence, great attack. Take a good side to stop them winning at Old Trafford. Aye, there's a little blip from Rob Burrow. First goal is missed, doesn't matter. 46 points to 22, and there is a very disconsolate Warrington coach. Marcus Bai finishes with a couple of tries. Chev Walker was on the score sheet as well twice. He has finished with a hand injury, and the players sportingly shake hands on the field, and Leeds will no doubt go to their end of the ground where their supporters are and take the applause, and they really do deserve it. It has been a championship quality performance from the Leeds Rhinos. Tony Smith has got his 50th win as the Leeds coach. Leeds' first ever title came at Warrington's expense way back in 1961. They beat Warrington 25-10 at Odsal in the championship final of that year, and they have put the marker down here that it will take a very, very good side to stop them lifting back-to-back Super League titles at the grand final come October. 3 tries in the first half, it was 18-12. 5 tries in the second half, it finishes up 46-22. Warrington never really in the hunt in the second half. Farfili with a couple of tries, but other than that, it was all one-way traffic. And the man of the match is Rob Burrow, who goes home with the watch. Here he is with Bill.
Rob, I think you're disappointed, aren't you, because you missed that last kick?
Yeah, I missed it. Bit of practice this week, bit of a job on my hands after following Kev Sinfield, but I'd appreciate the score near at post, to be honest with you.
To come to Warrington and do a job like that on a side that always gives Leeds a run for their money, it must be very satisfying.
It is, yeah. I mean, every game in Super League's tough, but coming to Warrington is exceptionally tough. We know if we stuck to his game plan, we'd be all right, and at times we didn't, and we got caught off foot, but the majority of the game we did, and we came out all right.
You haven't been at your most fluent in recent weeks. Was this more like it tonight?
Yeah, I think this was a step above what we've been playing. We know we needed to beat a side like Warrington, and you know, we thoroughly enjoyed the victory.
21 tries for you this season. Obviously, you're up there setting the pace as far as leading try scorer goes this season. Are you thinking about that?
No, I'm not thinking about it. I think Matt Calderwood is. He let me know he's going in front, but tonight's, as long as we win, that's the main thing.
You did well done tonight on a man of the match performance, Rob.
Thank you. Cheers.
Brian McDermott stepping in to do the coach's job tonight. Tony Smith with a sore throat and probably shouting at the side there because you had to work for that.
Yeah, we did. So you would have had to work to come to Warrington anyway under normal circumstances. I thought our fellas played really tough tonight, showed up real well. And we had to compete with some extra things tonight, which I thought we did very well, exceptionally well.
Referring to what?
Referring to that we had to overcome some extra things tonight. I thought we played tough. Warrington are a very tough team, as most people who come here will know that. Outstanding performance towards certainly in the second half.
And Rob was just suggesting there that this was more like it. You haven't been blowing on all cylinders recently.
No, we've not. We don't want to say that we've been poor either. We have been good. We've had a couple of slip up of late, or one slip up a couple of weeks ago, but I think we've put a lot of things right tonight.
Thanks, Brian.
Cheers, Bill.
Warrington coach Paul Cullen's joined us as well, and Paul, you must be thinking that you haven't done yourselves justice tonight.
Well, you've got to take into consideration the Leeds effort, and it was formidable. And you know, we remain encouraged despite the scoreline, because that was our worst kick effort in every game we've played this season. Our kick game was absolutely and utterly non-existent, and on the back of that you've got no field position, on the back of that you get no pressure. Thought Leeds' escort game was far better than ours. Their very flat pass game was better than ours. Their offload game on the back of that was better than ours. And when you don't get a decent kick in 80 minutes, then you know you're going to be in trouble against a side as good as that. So you know, we found enough holes to encourage ourselves. We just need a bit of a reminder on the way to win games of rugby league is to complete your sets, is to come up with a decent kick, and if we give a team as good as that, as well as much free ball from what was a very, very ordinary kicking game, whether it be Lee Brays or Nathan Wood or even Logan Swan, then you get what you deserve.
Well, you've made some great strides in the last couple of seasons. Do you think this shows that maybe there's 1 or 2 more strides to take yet?
Well, we've never considered ourselves to be the finished article, and we won't be if we can't construct a kicking game. And to be fair, that's the biggest disappointment. We spent a lot of time this week working on kick shape, kick execution and chase, and achieved none of it.
Thanks for talking to us.
You're welcome.
He's bitterly disappointed, and why shouldn't he be? Just look at this scoreline. There it is, 46 to Leeds and 22 to the Warrington Wolves. They have the best attack, they have the best defence in the business, Leeds. They proved exactly why they are the champions tonight. This was a very tricky assignment for them, and Warrington, I'm afraid, and Paul Cullen would be the first to admit, and he has just about admitted that to Bill Arthur there, they fell well short. So let's take a look at the table then, and it opens the door now for Hull. If they win at Widnes Sunday afternoon, they will go third in the table. Warrington will be fourth. Bradford tucked in behind, courtesy of their win at Salford. St Helens won at Lee. I think I said earlier in the programme that St Helens won at Salford last night. Well, they actually won at Lee, of course. Leeds have won here tonight. And London, they're 5 points off Bradford in fifth. They also play tomorrow. They're at the Huddersfield Giants, who